Hello, this is Ben Television News Roundup, a compilation of major stories in the weekend. I'm Tunde Alabi. Thank you for being part of the program today. Equality and diversity laws have impacted on black and minority ethnic community with positive influence in the United Kingdom. However, black and minority ethnic people still face many challenges in the UK, which they describe as institutional. Janet described her experience in this video and by educating people on diversity and equality. Your story, our history.
My experience growing up in the 70s onwards really contrasts with my older brothers and sisters. You know, some of them had said they'd had quite bad negative experiences of the education sector, racist teachers, neighbours, stuff like that. It feels very different to what my personal experience was. 3 of my eldest sisters have gone on to study at night school. They've really gone out of their way. It wasn't school that springboarded them. It was their own initiative. By the time my generation came around, for me, it was expected. That's what you do and that's how you progress. But for my sisters, I think one of my sisters was given career advice of going to work in a factory. Another was encouraged to go and work at the dry cleaners. There were quite a few jobs that were protected by the Race Relations Act. And in terms of equalities, genuinely having an occupational characteristic of race, gender, or language, and these being something that would help and enable you to do your job. For about 2 to 3 years, I was an associate trainer with London Metropolitan Service, training police officers at all levels and all aspects of the workforce around diversity and equalities. They used to have their own in-house trainers, but by bringing in so-called community trainers, they got a different perspective. That's a piece of work I'm actually really, really quite proud of because I feel it had an impact. You know, whether it was one statement or one huge thing that got a police officer to look at themselves again or think about what they were doing when they're stopping and searching and the impact on those communities. Things such as the Race Relations Act has really opened the floodgates for people and organisations and institutions to look at themselves and to actually think about who they are and to change and to develop.
Former Prime Minister David Cameron has come under criticism over his resignation honours list. Mr. Cameron was accused of cronyism when a leaked honours list revealed that a number of his former aides, family, friends and political allies have been included in the list. Ben TV sought people's opinion on the row over the honours lists.
I don't think being in the Remain campaign disqualifies you from being in the honours list. I think that is not a criterion. Whether being a crony of David Cameron is a criterion is another matter. Thank you.
He's entitled to his opinion. Whether I think it's appropriate or not doesn't really change the reality. So I just respect his decision. It was his decision to be made, so he's entitled to make it as he likes, isn't he?
What do you think the present Prime Minister should do?
Hey, she's got to make that decision, and I'm not sure that whatever I say will affect it, I have to be honest. Yeah, very diplomatic.
I think it was totally inappropriate.
Okay.
It was not right. I think that people in public service have a duty. There's plenty of other people out there who work very, very hard, and quite clearly they do it just to put food on the table. They don't do it for honours or anything, but I don't understand why people who are overpaid anyway need additional honours to justify their own existence. Absolutely terrible.
What about the stylist? What about his wife's stylist?
Oh, well, the stylist, totally, that's a different matter altogether. I think she totally deserved it. No, I don't think she deserved it either.
Okay, well, what do you think the present Prime Minister should do? Do you think she should scrap it?
Well, it's a difficult one. Honours it's a difficult one. I mean, there are people out there who don't get paid an awful lot of money, who quite clearly to get some recognition for the work they do. But again, it's probably a little bit. I would rather they're rewarded through their salary than through their through pinning medals on them or honours on them or whatever. Really, reward them through the salaries. That's what I think. But the trouble is, the people who got rewarded were on big salaries anyway, so that's difficult. Okay.
Do you think it was appropriate for him to list the names of the people listed?
Do you mean who he chose?
Yeah, who he chose. Do you think they really deserve?
No, I don't think that you should be honouring people who've just helped you politically, or like his wife's stylist. It's not appropriate at all. I think you should be honouring people who've done something for the community, like volunteers, or people who've trained children to do sport, that sort of thing. People who've actually made a difference, not necessarily to him. He could thank them in different ways. He could buy them. He's rich enough to buy them a bloody bottle of champagne or something. So, sorry, I shouldn't have sworn. Sorry. Okay, is that enough?
Okay, no. What do you think the Prime Minister should do? The present Prime Minister. Do you think she should scrap the list or just let it go through?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. I don't think she should scrap the list because that's not really her position to do so. I think that he shouldn't have done it in the first place, and his advisors maybe should have advised him against it, because I think it makes him look bad. I mean, well, I don't like him anyway, but Okay?
All right,
No, see no problem about that.
You don't see any problem with
No,
it?
no.
So you think those people are well deserving just because they probably supported the Remain campaign?
Yeah, well, I supported the Remain.
Oh yeah, but do you think the honours should be given to people who really deserve it, like volunteers, people who?
Yeah, it's not the ones that she's given to all these his cronies, Cameron.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with that at all.
Okay.
His wife's stylist and everything.
Exactly. Okay. So what do you think the present Prime Minister should do?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't know what. I couldn't say on that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she'll be another Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, all right.
Hope not.
Okay,
thank you very much.
About the list, right?
Yeah, I heard about the list.
Yeah. So do you think it was appropriate for him to include the kind of people he included, people who were already on fat salaries and people who already have money? Do you think it was right for him to include such people on his list?
Well, apart from that, I think they should have looked to more down-to-earth people who have done more work.
Okay.
For example, Nigel Farage, he should have got an award. I think because he instigated the referendum and all that. So I think basically, it's said that he picked his friends.
Yeah,
but what is the value of such award? That's the question.
Yeah.
What is the value? What are they going to do to people in society? How are they going to help us? That's the big question.
Yeah.
So, and because there's so much controversy about it, how are they going to, the beneficiaries of the award, what are they going to do with it, and would they feel happy? Because there's so much debate around it, isn't it? It's really crazy.
Yeah. So do you think Theresa May should stop? Do you think she should stop the whole?
Well, it's protocol. She's not going to stop what the ex-prime minister has done, because there'll be ongoing conflict.
Okay.
So it's very divided, and it's very difficult equally for her, I think. So
Thank you very much.
God bless you. And
Why?
It's inappropriate because it's favouritism, isn't it? It's not objective, it's cronyism, and it should be completely biased, and it needs to be regulated as to who's putting one in. Just because his friends, why can't I put my friend up and it's favours for favours, isn't it?
So do you think the present Prime Minister should scrap it? Or
Scrap what?
the list? Do you think she should just stop it?
I think she should have a look at the list and decide whether it is they've done something that's rewarding of that honour of a knighthood or an honour. But I think she can't ignore it. She definitely needs to have a look at it. Yeah. Okay.
It's a bit of a how do you say it in a nice way? Bit of a stirrer. But no, people should have got it who deserved it, not who he chose. You know what I mean? Shouldn't have had anything to do with him. But it's life. It happens, doesn't it? But fingers crossed, can get them all out.
Okay.
Hopefully, protest. It's the only way. Come on. It's alright, take care, love.
What David Cameron done, I'll give the awards to people that deserve it. And what he done is giving it to his friend and family, and I don't think that's really suitable.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
U.S. Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton and our Republican counterpart Donald Trump have clashed again over each other's foreign policies. The two candidates are focusing their campaigns on key states where there is anger over lost industrial jobs.
Welcome back to Fox In an interview with Fox News Sunday, Clinton criticized Trump's stance on Russia in view of the hacking allegations.
We know that Donald Trump has shown a very troubling willingness to back up Putin, to support Putin, whether it's saying that NATO wouldn't come to the rescue of our allies if they were invaded, talking about removing sanctions from Russian officials after they were imposed by the United States and Europe together because of Russia's aggressiveness in Crimea and Ukraine.
Trump has suggested he might recognize Moscow's annexation of Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula. In an interview with George Stephanopoulos on ABC's This Week show, he said he was being practical.
But if we can have a good relationship with Russia, and if Russia would help us get rid of ISIS, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, you're talking about tremendous amounts of money and lives and everything else. That would be a positive thing.
Trump also responded to criticism from a U.S. Muslim father whose son died serving with U.S. forces in Iraq.
If you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say.
The soldier's parents reacted angrily at the suggestion.
I was in pain, and all America felt that pain.
Referring to Trump's remarks, Clinton told supporters in Pennsylvania Saturday that her rival is not a normal candidate.
Somebody who attacks everybody has something missing.
Trump, who usually calls Clinton Crooked Hillary, made it clear that the tone of the campaign will not get any better.
Just remember this, Trump is going to be no more Mr. Nice Guy.
The latest polls indicate a very tough race for the top U.S. office. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.
And to Africa, a new solar power has been unveiled in Uganda. The bus, which seats 35 passengers, drives only on batteries and solar panels. The solar bus, known as Kayola, will replace conventional bus when fully launched very soon.
Kayula is the brand name for this bus, powered by solar panels on its roof. It seats 35 passengers, and its maker, Kira Motors, hopes the Kayula could become the first public bus in Africa to be powered by the sun. The engines of these electronically powered buses are completely silent, says the chief engineer of the project.
With this bus, there's actually no engine. What is driving the bus is a motor, a traction motor, which is being run by a battery. And the battery banks are the ones that are linked to the solar system that's on the roof. So we have the batteries that are driving the motor, and that gives us a full range of 8 kilometers on full charge. And then the solar panels come in to supplement the extra mileage. So it adds an extra 12 kilometers to the total.
The Kayula bus can be recharged using solar power or connected to an electronic power source. Best of all, it doesn't emit harmful carbon dioxide into the atmosphere.
The systems are fully run on green energy. So things to do with polluting the environment, which ultimately will affect, and that's the reason why you'd work on such a product, because in the future, we're looking at sustainable and green energy.
This solar-powered bus also helps save money on petrol by relying 100% on abundant, renewable sunlight.
The difference between this Kayola bus, the solar bus, and these other buses is that the other ones are using fuel. This one is using batteries. But as you're driving, when you're accelerating, you can't tell. It's powerful like these other buses.
Ugandan authorities say the Kayula bus can help solve Kampala's traffic jams.
The more options, we believe it will help a lot in the issue of congestion.
The price of this prototype bus is estimated at more than $140,000. If this model can be mass-produced, the price will drop and will sell for around $55,000 each. However, before the Kayula bus is out on Ugandan roads, customers have to be patient. There hasn't been an official date set for its release. Salim Solomon for Marcus Macrini, VOA News.
Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Matters, Abike Dabiri-Eliwa, has said the organizers of the last Diaspora Day conference that held in Abuja last July did not involve her office. She stated that the organizers did not also involve any of the committees on diaspora at the National Assembly. She noted that the organizers' action accounted for the presidency's refusal to honor invitations to participate in the 3-day event.
Synergy with the committees. I don't even know about the diaspora day this year. So that shows total disconnect. SSA, if you notice, I wasn't there. The VP was not there. The president was not there because I wasn't there. So there's a synergy with the House committees of Senate and they don't even know either. The Senate chairman does not know there's a diaspora day. Diaspora day is organized under the office of the NN. There's a PS, NNVS. That's part of the challenge in the system. They do diaspora day. SSA president is everything on diaspora. So if they let us know what they're doing, we make an input. I participated last year. Even as after being, I was no longer in the house. But when I was in diaspora, the permanent secretary, a lady, invited me. And we were part of, and that was the best diaspora in Nigeria.
Yes.
Anybody who was there will know. So it depends on who is organizing. The woman then made it open. She was a very competent woman. She made it open. She made it open to everybody. Even people, Professor Aduko, came to register yesterday. They sent him back.
Yeah, I was here. They turned him down.
So you diasporans protest what you saw this year.
Yes.
You sit down here and you don't say anything.
Yes.
You should not protest to me. Protest to me. Exactly. So let me tell you something. Wait, let me finish. I'm not there because I will not be a part of hypocrisy, greed, and stupidity. So because I'm not there, Nigeria was not there. So whoever, president was not there, the VP was not there, was represented at the last minute. So it's left for you to make that known. And let me tell you, so you cannot do a diaspora when people cannot register. You do a diaspora and you are telling people to come for invitation. What should be done is you go on the website, register that you want to participate, you get a registration number, and you are free to attend. You do a diaspora day, you send people back. People like Professor Aluko, people that are distinguished diasporans. That diaspora day, from what I saw in the pictures, half of the people, even 8% of the people live in Gwagwalada or Lagos or Karu or Yaya. So the few of you that came, I'm sorry you wasted your time. But this I'm sure has helped you by being here. Look, I'm not for rubbish. I don't have time. I'm not a hypocrite. I say that anybody can come and cut my head. That is the truth. This diaspora day, I don't know what they did. I'm not aware of what they did. And I gave such advice to the president and the vice president. And that's one of the reasons why the vice president was not represented. Because anything diaspora, they would ask me. And when they asked me, I gave an honest, or did I lie? No. So that is so it's left to you, the diasporans, to let everybody know what you went through today and how it was a waste of time and money and everything. So, my brother, Senate committee does not even know they are doing diaspora day. House committee got to know because she has a few friends from NIDO UK. She herself had to send somebody at the last minute. So, and I didn't know what was going on.
Meanwhile, some Nigerians in the diaspora have also reacted to our comments.
It's unfortunate, and I would like to say it very clearly here, that in her 12 years in the House, of which she served about 8 years of it as the only representative by the principles of the National Assembly, had an office that represents the interests of the diasporans in the entire governmental system and structure in Nigeria. And it's unfortunate that she's saying what she's saying now, because for 8 years she was unable to achieve a vital cause. What she's saying is not right.
If you look at the PS I mentioned earlier on, it's somebody that I've known for some years. When he was here as the High Commissioner, acting High Commissioner, I worked with him. He's got pedigree. He's somebody that would not. It's not about the money. It's not about anything. I'm very sure what he did, because to be honest, what he did was to advise people from diaspora to actually come back home, to give something back to the people in Nigeria. And for somebody to be saying things like that, to encourage diasporans to come back home, to give back to Nigerians in Nigeria, I don't think it's got anything to do with money, because it's really...
It is not a personal event, it's a national event.
Yes.
If there is coordination, if there is synergy and seriousness on the part of the organizer, shouldn't every hand, every committee involved in diaspora case, matter, affairs, from the National Assembly up to the executive, be carried along in the preparation, in the organization, and in the executive? Should it not be?
What you're saying, it should be
it's
the right
way.
Yes,
but that did not happen.
It did not happen, and that's why I said that.
So we don't blame Abike for bursting out of anger because somebody sidelined her. She has an office with that responsibility.
I wouldn't blame her, because you see, with our own, if you look at her own office, she was meant to be carried along.
To be involved.
To be involved, fully involved.
Well, that's how we conclude the news roundup for this week. Thank you for being part of the program. I'm Tunde Alabi. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye. To reach the African and other ethnic communities in the United Kingdom with greater impacts and create the platform to hear your silent and unheard views in this hugely growing community in the United Kingdom, our channel Ben TV presents to you another live current affairs television program. Our focus on the program is to review and discuss issues around the diaspora community in the UK. The program offers you that unrestricted voice on issues affecting you in the UK. Join us live every Monday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Another business segment of Dialogue in Diaspora, 2 to 3 p.m. every Monday. But guess what? You know you can be part of the program. Just send us an email at bentelevisionuk@gmail.com. Dialogue in Diaspora, the voice, your opinion on our TV.